What is going on, movie lovers? Welcome to Apocaflix Movie News, the podcast where we break down the biggest movie news stories throughout the week. And my apologies, we are a day late. We usually drop this on Sunday, but we got a lot of stuff going on. We're all some busy dudes. So, I'm Jacob Bartley, the host, by the way. I am joined by Gio Ramos. What's going on, Gio?
What's up, guys? Some exciting stuff to talk about today.
Oh, yeah. So before we get into the news topics, what have you been watching lately, Gio?
A lot of movies.
I know there's one movie that we all watched.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Which I thoroughly enjoyed. We also saw Life, which...
That's correct, yeah.
I mean, I didn't like it, but you did, so that's cool. And then I finally saw Edge of 17.
Nice, that's right. Yeah,
it's a good coming-of-age movie. And I finished Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
The TV show. So, check it out. It's really fun.
Yeah, of course I watched Power Rangers. Loved it, by the way. So happy about that. Life, I really enjoyed Life. I don't think it's a great film, but I think it's really good. Mm-hmm. It executed certain elements very well. You can check out my review on the YouTube channel, but I just thought it was so scary. I was terrified watching it the whole time. Mm-hmm. I forgot. I watched a few at-home movies, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But I have been watching this show called Love Season 2, which is actually, Season 2 is really good. Like, far improvement on Season 1. And then I have been watching Iron Fist. I understand the complaints, but it's not as bad as people are making it seem, in my opinion. All right, well, let's jump into our official news topics, and we got something really excited to talk about, something Gio might be excited to talk about. I'm not sure. So, as revealed by Warner Bros. Early this week, and following a string of new character teasers and posters, a brand new fully packed trailer has been released for Justice League. Directed by Zack Snyder, Justice League picks up after the events of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice and sees a restored Bruce Wayne enlisting the help of Diana Prince to quickly recruit a team of metahumans to stand against a newly awakened threat. Starring Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, and Henry Cavill, Justice League will hit theaters later this year on November 17th. All right, Gio, was this trailer everything you hoped it would be?
Yes, everything and more. First off, I want to say I'm so happy that Zack Snyder is directing this movie, because we're getting iterations of these characters that we've never before seen in a comic book movie. I mean, 10 years ago, if you saw a picture of Jason Momoa as Aquaman, you're like, this is Aquaman, you'd be like, what? But it's just he pretty much stole the trailer for me, because he looks like he's having the most fun out of all the characters. And then
the Flash might challenge him on that.
The Flash is also great as well. It's his moments that will bring levity and fun to this DC movie, so we have that to look forward to. Overall, I love all the introductions. Cyborg, for me, he looks great. I mean, but it's clear that the effects are unfinished, but I do like what I see. It looks like the story will involve him and his father, who is, I think, Silas Stone,
yes,
if I'm not mistaken, and it looks like he's going to get taken by the parademons. It's great to see Batman have a little more faith in humanity. To see him work together with other people, as J.K. Simmons says in the trailer.
Not for long.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Nothing. It just considering all the drama that's going on with DC right now, and people saying that Ben Affleck's going to leave as Batman, that's just funny that he says not for long.
Right.
Not for much longer.
Yeah. It may
not to bring
it may be temporary
over this situation.
And then it's great to see shots of J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon, as I mentioned. Queen Mara, played by Amber Heard.
She looks incredible.
She looks great. I love that underwater Atlantis sequence that we saw previously before this trailer. I think that's going to look great. And overall, just seeing members of the Justice League in action. Obviously, there's no Superman. I'm glad he's kept out. I hope they keep him out of the marketing altogether. And maybe an appearance from Green Lantern. We'll see. Overall, though, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I loved it.
I liked it a lot. Like, there's some moments in there that are priceless. Like, Aquaman jumping off of the Batmobile into some parademons. Like, I never would have imagined that. Like, that is awesome. And then some of the lines, like the I'm rich line is great.
Yeah.
And then you dress like a bat, I dig it. Like, I like that, the swagger that Jason Momoa is bringing to Aquaman. Like, the job of a trailer is to get you more excited for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this trailer did for me. The special effects, some of the special effects look off, especially around Cyborg. But you have to understand, the movie doesn't come out until November. They're going to fix that up and clean it up and make it look a lot nicer. So that doesn't worry me. You know, it's not like the movie comes out in a month and they just released this trailer. Like, then I would be worried. But they're going to fix that up. So I'm not worried about that. And I'm just excited overall. My only thing I'm hesitant about is Superman not being there. Like, I know he's going to be in the movie, but it's kind of unfortunate that we're finally getting a Justice League movie, and Superman is not going to be in the majority of it. We're not going to see the true Justice League, and that's upsetting to me. I know we'll see the full team in sequels, and I know we're going to see him in this movie, but part of me wishes that he was there front and center with the team. But that doesn't take anything away from this trailer. I think the action looks awesome. The cinematography looks amazing. The individual character moments look incredible. And while I don't love everything they're doing with the Flash and the way he moves and everything like that, it's different from the TV show. Mm-hmm. So it works because I don't want them to create the same exact character that's on the TV show. So I'm fine with the different changes they're making to the way the Flash moves and looks. Mm-hmm. So overall, thoroughly enjoyed the trailer, and I'm so excited for this movie. More excited for Wonder Woman, maybe. Comes out in a few months. Mm-hmm. Alright, so while he isn't actively involved in the Star Wars property, Disney CEO Bob Iger is the man behind the curtain that everything is ran by. Recently, Iger was at a conference where he revealed some juicy information about upcoming Star Wars films. Not only did he officially reconfirm that Star Wars The Last Jedi will not be altered after the unfortunate passing of Carrie Fisher, nor will she ever be recreated digitally. He was also asked about the next year's Han Solo spinoff and had this to say. That picks up Han Solo when he was 18 years old and takes him through when he was 24. There were a few things that happened that were significant in Solo's life, like acquiring a certain vehicle and meeting a certain Wookiee. That will happen in this film, but you'll also discover how he got his name? What? Rian Johnson's Star Wars The Last Jedi is set to be released this year on December 15, 2017, and the Han Solo spinoff currently has a May 15, 2018 release date. I'll go ahead and start this one off. The Han Solo details are cool to know. Like, that's interesting, the age range, but what the hell does you'll discover how he got his name mean? Now, we could be taking this out of context. Like, maybe they mean, like, the greatest smuggler in the galaxy, that name, or do they literally mean Han Solo? Like, is that not his real name? If that's the case, and he's like Trevor Smith is his real name, but then somehow he got Han Solo like a nickname, I'm going to be upset, honestly. Depends how they handle it, but I would be upset. And I love that they're not altering The Last Jedi at all for Carrie Fisher. It's going to be tough unless she dies in this movie. Then it's easy. But the way things are set up right now, I don't think she was planned to die, the character. So I'm curious about how they're going to handle that going forward. But for this movie, I'm glad they're not changing it.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Carrie Fisher thing. She did complete all of her scenes, all of her scenes in the movie. So that's great. As far as the Han Solo thing goes, I'm just as curious as you are. Maybe in the movie he builds a reputation and then is given the name Solo, but it'll be kind of a wait and see thing. This will be a true origin, if anything. And as far as the age, maybe this movie, starts at when he was 18 years old, and maybe some more films happen to where it's kind of like a Spider-Man Homecoming thing, where each film kind of takes on a different part of his life. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see if audiences buy into a different Han Solo that's not Harrison Ford. They have my confidence because of Phil Lord and Chris Miller, but it'll be interesting to see. So yeah,
we will find out. Now, before we get into this next topic, it's about Sony announcing that a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie is in development. Those are Spider-Man side characters, but it was revealed earlier today that about this. The Venom movie is going to be outside of the MCU for sure, and it's going to be rated R. So we'll talk about that with this story too. So even though Sony made a deal with Marvel to bring our favorite teenaged webhead to the continuously popular Marvel Cinematic Universe, that doesn't mean they've halted their plans on their own universe from the Spider-Man property. It was just recently announced that the studio is developing a Venom spin-off, and now The Hollywood Reporter has revealed that the studio is also pushing forward with the spin-offs focusing on the characters of Black Cat and Silver Sable. Alongside that, THR had also revealed that Thor Ragnarok co-writer Chris Joyce has been brought on board to build off a previous draft, and that Sony is looking to get this movie going as soon as they can. No other details were revealed at the time. Gio, seeing that we've seen the struggles of Sony building a Spider-Man universe before, is this the right play?
Yes, and I say that because I believe that Sony is learning a thing or two from working with Marvel. You know, they've been very active as far as the Spider-Man Homecoming movie being actively involved. The same with his involvement in Civil War. So I have to believe that Sony is also taking notes to see how a cinematic universe is run properly. So with that, I think they can do some good things, especially with Venom, because Venom is naturally an R-rated character. He's very violent. All right, he's not playful or anything like that. This guy kills. Okay, so and in recent comic book storylines, he's been more of an anti-hero than a villain. So Venom could theoretically lead his own universe.
I think that's what the plan is. I mean, he's the most popular.
And let's face it, everybody wants
side character.
Yeah, everybody wants Venom and Spider-Man to be in the same movie. You're never gonna have Venom in an MCU. I'm sorry to say that, but Venom is too.
They could do it.
It would be a disservice to have Venom in that movie, because I think that's not who Venom is. You know, given what Fox has been able to do with Deadpool, what they just proved with Logan, Sony can make it right. Maybe they can have that Venom in the MCU, but I mean, they're not going to go for that. But if they were, maybe, you know, have him not be as violent, but still, you know, not betray the character that they've established in this R-rated movie. But we'll see. As far as Black Cat and Silver Sable, I've done some research on the two. Black Cat, you know, she is a very prominent character in the Spider-Man universe.
She has a romantic relationship with
Her backstory is very violent. She was raped while attending a university, and she trained in martial arts and acrobatics, and she became Black Cat, taking on her father's, his line of work, which was like a cat burglar. So maybe they can do some good things with this. We'll wait and see. They have the Thor Ragnarok writer, Chris Yost, writing the script for the Black Cat Silver Sable. Maybe Alex Kurtzman is directing the Venom movie. We'll wait and see. But I think it's promising.
I'm kind of torn on this, because on one hand, I'm like, I don't want to see these characters without Spider-Man. Like, Venom is synonymous with Spider-Man. Like, that's what makes Venom is the connection to Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why would you make it without him? At the same time, characters like Venom, Silver Sable, and Black Cat are never going to get the attention that they would get if they make their own universe with them. If they were in the MCU, they would never get... They wouldn't be done the service that they could be done with if they have their own movies, or they get focused in like a darker rated R version of these characters. And I'm fine either way. But I personally, if I had to choose, I would want Venom to be in not necessarily in the MCU like in an Avengers film, but in a Spider-Man Sony MCU movie. I would want that to happen, because now Tom Holland's going to be Spider-Man for 20 years at least. And that means we're never, at least for the next 20 years, while these two universes are going on, we're never going to see a legit Spider-Man Venom movie. Now, that sucks in my eyes, because Venom is one of the coolest things about Spider-Man in general. But at the same time, you know what this leads to is carnage. Carnage in a rated R make Carnage the villain of Venom.
Absolutely. That's why I'm for this, because you can't. I mean, Spider-Man, his rogues gallery is much more than just Venom and Carnage. He could have all the characters in there to occupy himself for 20 years. But Venom and Carnage in a own universe, R-rated, like that's just. I mean, why not? Why not have its own separate
Like I said,
universe?
I would love to have Venom in the MCU or with this Tom Holland Spider-Man, but at the same time, it just hit me like, this means we get another superhero universe. Like, we have the Fox, we have the Justice, I mean, the DC, and then we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now we're kind of going to get this, so that's kind of cool in a way, and it'll give us something very different in the superhero world.
Look at the Marvel Netflix. That's a good example, They're doing their own thing.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I didn't really talk about Silver Sable and Black Cat, but cool. I mean, I'm not familiar with Silver Sable at all, but I am a little bit familiar with Black Cat. She's kind of like Catwoman, in a way. She's
pretty much.
And I remember Felicity Jones was actually cast as her in the Amazing Spider-Man series, but that didn't work out. So that's cool. I mean, they're more well-known side characters in Spider-Man, I guess, but still, like they're going like level C characters.
Can you believe the last Spider-Man franchise had Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Felicity Jones, like
imagine
Dane DeHaan. Oh my god!
Well, she probably never that cast. If you think about it, she probably never would have did Rogue One if she was involved in that Spider-Man franchise.
Right.
But that's crazy when you put it that way.
Jesus,
that cast, like if we heard a movie with that cast today, like
a Spider-Man movie, yeah.
I know, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so hot off the wheels of Transformers last week, Paramount unveiled a new trailer for their other big summer release, Baywatch. The big screen remake of the popular 90s TV show follows a new hotshot lifeguard as he butts heads with the badass and universally loved head lifeguard of Baywatch, Mitch Buchanan, until mysterious activities start to arise at the local beach club, leading Mitch and his team to come together and save the beach. Directed by Seth Gordon, Baywatch stars Dwayne Johnson, Zac Efron, Alexander Daddario, Kelly Robach, and Priyanka Chopra, and swims into theaters on May 26, 2017. Gio, did this new trailer do anything for you? Get you excited?
It got me way more excited for a Baywatch movie, man. Like, the comedy has been just spot on in this trailer. It has, perfect blend of action, humor, eye candy, it's going to be a lot of fun. The early word on this movie is that it's really good. It's very good, and it properly, adapts what 21 Jump Street did so right, as far as revitalizing a franchise, being self-aware, and having the right kind of humor. So I'm definitely looking forward to Baywatch.
Yeah, I love this trailer. Like, I love hard R comedies in general, and I'm a huge fan of The Rock. I'm a huge fan of Zac Efron. I'm a big fan of Alexander Daddario. So this was right up my wheelhouse in the first place, and I love this trailer. Yeah, you can look. It's dumb. It is dumb, but it's fun dumb.
They acknowledge it. Yeah,
it's like ridiculous and over the top. It's just like 21 Jump Street, and I love it. Like, I'm so excited for this movie. Like, if looking back, if I could like readjust my top 10 most anticipated list, if I would have seen this trailer, I probably would have been up there, because I had Kong Skull Island at my number 10 spot, and while I really liked that movie, it didn't live up to like top 10 movies of the year. But I have a feeling Baywatch can, because I love my hard R comedies, so this could end up being one of my favorite movies of the year, especially with this cast. And speaking of Venom, what about Zac Efron for Eddie Brock?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
I think that could work. We'll see. Alright, so when it comes to a Tom Cruise movie, especially the Mission Impossible franchise, we're always looking for that one big stunt that only he's capable of pulling off. Ghost Protocol saw him tied to the outside of the tallest building in the world in Abu Dhabi, and the follow-up Rogue Nation saw him physically strapped to a cargo plane as it took off. Yes, that was real. MI6 will begin filming early next month, and while speaking with Collider, Skydance CEO David Ellison had this to say on what Cruise is bringing to the table this time. Quote, "What Tom is doing in this movie, I believe, will top anything that's come before. It is absolutely unbelievable. He's been training for a year. It is going to be, I believe, the most impressive and unbelievable thing that Tom Cruise has done in a movie, and he has been working on it since right after Rogue Nation came out. It's going to be mind-blowing." I kept wanting to say Rogue One. Mission Impossible 6 will be directed by Christopher McQuarrie and has a July 27, 2018 release date. While I am excited about the idea in general of Tom Cruise pulling off another miraculous stunt. I can't get excited if I have no idea what it is. Like, what he does is amazing. Okay, can you give us a hint? Like, at least, like, say it involves a train, or it involves a submarine, like something like that. And then I can kind of picture of what it might be. I have so much respect for Tom Cruise. Like, he's awesome. Like, he's one of the best, greatest action stars of all time, and he never slacks off or like gives less than 100% of his effort. So I respect him so much, and I'm sure he's going to do something insane, but I can't get too excited if I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, putting it into context of the Mission Impossible franchise, so in 4, he climbed the tallest tower in Dubai. In 5, he hung off a plane as it took off into the air. And he also held his breath underwater for, I think...
oh, that's right.
I don't know how long it was, but it was certainly longer than I can. And now in this next one, he's going to do something even more crazy and insane. And the Mission Impossible movies have kind of become this action spectacle to where, like, it's going to be a kick-ass action story, but it's also going to have this big stunt. And to me, that's just exciting, and it actually, it made me think about what this franchise has been doing, and it's like the Fast and Furious, to where they're getting an ensemble, they're doing these huge action stunts, and it's just it's all great. I can't wait to see it, and then the fact that Henry Cavill's in the movie as well makes me excited, man.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so the Power Rangers name has been a mainstay for over 20 years now. This weekend saw the big screen adaptation of the property be released to fans everywhere who have been waiting for years for this day to come. And while we'd all like to think the studio and producers had its eyes focused on just successfully creating a good first movie, it's 2017, which means a franchise is always on the mind. But just how much is it already planned? Well, while speaking with Variety, Haim Saban revealed his plans for the young characters reintroduced in this new origin story, saying, "We already have a 6-movie story arc." Saban continues to talk about having state-of-the-art effects, likable characters, and multiple generations of fans to be a big draw for this franchise as it continues down its path of building a cinematic universe. Power Rangers is currently in theaters, and make sure to check out both our non-spoiler and spoiler reviews of the Dean Israelite-directed movie. So I'll go ahead and start this one off. Do I get excited of the idea of potentially seeing at least five more Power Rangers movies with this cast? Absolutely. Is it a little ridiculous to plan 6 movies when you're not even 100% sure you're getting a sequel to the first one? Absolutely. So I'm torn. Like, the fan in me is like, please make 6 movies, because this cast is incredible. Those, especially Doc Ray Montgomery and Naomi Scott and RJ Cyler, amazing actors. And that, I think, like, if you have bad actors, that can kind of ruin a movie. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that they got very talented actors and you could see them develop and grow over time, I think that's awesome. And if you know the history of Power Rangers, like, they can go so many places with these sequels. Like,
yeah,
I mean, in the TV show, there's the Green Ranger. He could possibly be introduced in the future. There's a bunch of different Zords, like the Ultra Megazord, and there's a bunch of different characters like Lord Zed. You can have Rita be the main villain in the first 3, and then Zed finally comes in the 4th one. Mm-hmm. You could tease Zed at the end of the 3rd one. Like, there's so many different ways you can go. So, do they have the story and the material to make 6 movies? Yes. And if they can succeed at it, great. But just hope that this movie makes enough money to warrant a sequel, because I think the movie's going to do alright. I think Power Rangers will make about 300 to 350 million worldwide when it's all said and done. Because I don't know if it's released in all the foreign markets yet. And that kind of makes a little money. But the sequel will make much more money, I think, because I think there's going to be positive word of mouth off this movie. And I think where they can go with the sequel and how they can market that sequel will lead to a bigger box office return, I think, for that sequel. So let's focus on this potential next one before we get to 6. But it's funny to me that he says state of the art effects when the special effects were not the best in this movie. So,
well, you got to sell your movie with to the press.
Exactly.
It's not a bad idea for them to plan so far in ahead. They're obviously taking a note from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how they planted their seeds, storylines. One would think that they signed each of these actors to multi-picture
I'm sure
deals.
they signed a 6-film deal.
I don't know about 6. I mean, that's a large part of your life. But maybe. Who knows? But it remains to be seen. It all remains to be seen. I like the movie. I really like the movie, actually. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I want to see more of these characters, where they go. I think they were given great origin stories. Most of them were given great origin stories. Saban, the Power Rangers TV show is still going.
Yeah.
I was 3 years old. I'm 26 now. This thing's been going on for a long time. I have no doubt that they can come up with more stories. I'm sure Dina Israelite wants to come back as well. So it's a waiting game. You want to see how we're going to wait and see how Power Rangers does in its second weekend at the box office, and I think that will.
Beauty and the Beast hurt it so bad because Power Rangers could be a kid and family movie, and $80 million went to Beauty and the Beast this weekend. If Power Rangers could have had 40 of that, it would have been solid for them.
Yeah. Well, that's Disney for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Taking everyone's money. All right, so moving on from a treasure of my childhood to a treasure of Gio's childhood, DreamWorks Animation released the first official trailer for Captain Underpants, the first epic movie this week, which follows two overly imaginative pranksters who hypnotize their principal into thinking he's a ridiculous superhero named Captain Underpants. The character of Captain Underpants is voiced by Ed Helms, who is joined by Kevin Hart, Tom Middleditch, and Nick Kroll. Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, will be released on June 2nd, 2017. Gio, what did you think of this new trailer?
First off, the animation for Captain Underpants, this trailer looks amazing. It's so colorful and bright, and wow, Now, as far as the trailer goes, it's everything I'd expect. You got Harold and George. They're up to their no good shenanigans as kids. Pulling pranks. Did the jokes in the trailer make me laugh? Not so much, but seeing things like Captain Underpants go tra-la-la and the hypnotizing ring and all that stuff, it made me smile, and it brought me back to being a kid, and just as a kid I laughed at all that stuff. So there's definitely a nostalgia in this trailer for me. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I wish I had one day I'll have a kid and I'll show them the movie Captain Underpants, but I bought it, dude. I'm excited for this. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, so I didn't grow up or love Captain Underpants as a kid. I'm sure I read it, but I'm not familiar with the story at all. So I asked you, and they're sticking pretty true to the book, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I didn't love this trailer. It looks great, like you said. The animation is really good. I don't know about Kevin Hart voicing a kid and sounding exactly like him. Why they could have, because adults voice kids all the time, but they make them sound like a kid. It just sounds like Kevin Hart talking. So I don't know if I love that, but anyways, I can't be like, oh, I love the book so much, they're doing exactly what I wanted it to be. So I'm not too excited about this trailer, but I will say that it looks entertaining, and I'm curious how they're going to, because he obviously doesn't really have superpowers. So how is he going to? Because I'm sure it's going to be a scenario where he actually does defeat the villain by the end of the day, and how is that going to happen? I'm curious, and I'll go watch it with you. It's just not something that I'm really looking forward to. All right, closing out with our take one, leave one segment, and now instead of two things putting them against each other, we have 4 posters, or 5 posters.
We have a Royal Rumble.
We're doing take one, leave 4. So you have to choose one of these posters or one of these sets of posters. So we have The Dark Tower, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Justice League, Alien Covenant, or Spider-Man Homecoming. So If you have to choose one poster or one set of posters, what are you choosing?
Justice League. It's not really a contest.
This is not what movie you're looking forward to most. What poster do you think is best?
Yeah, Justice League.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, are we talking? Which Justice League trailer poster are we talking about? Are we talking about the one with the JL and the star in the middle?
The most recent one.
Or is it the one with the characters in the poster?
I think it's like that as a package.
Well, I'm definitely taking that because all the characters look badass with their poses. The JL sign, just, dude, we're getting a Justice League movie. Just, it's not too revealing. We know it's going to be great. Well, I know it's going to be great. So I'm taking the Justice League trailer. Look, the Alien Covenant looks great, okay? But for me, it's more of the same. You got xenomorphs killing these people. You got the face huggers on the face and all that kind of stuff. It's great, but it's more of the same. The Dark Tower also looks great as well. But I mean, all it says is something about other worlds and Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba. But it looks like something that I've already seen as far as the poster goes, like an Inception or something like that, or like a Doctor Strange. So I'm taking Justice League.
What movies am I looking forward to the most out of these? Probably Spider-Man: Homecoming or Justice League. But which poster is the best from just a poster? I'm judging this off the poster, not sure. The movie, the poster. I'm taking the Alien Covenant poster because, and it's nowhere near. Like, I'm looking forward to most of these movies more than Alien Covenant, but as far as the poster, I just think it captures. It's scary. It captures, what it's trying to portray. And after watching Life, which terrified me, I'm curious if this new Alien movie can terrify me.
You're gonna
as well.
Shit your pants in
Probably
the theater watching this shit.
And I haven't been scared in a movie in a while, like until Life. So if I can get something similar like that, then I'm totally down for that. It's fun being scared in a movie.
No, yeah, it is. It's just annoying when people who sit behind you are jumping and then their foot hits your back seat. And you're like, fuck?
So wait. So did that play into why you didn't like Life?
No. I just didn't like Life because the lack of character death. I was like, why do I? The only character I cared about in that movie was the Asian guy who witnessed the birth of his child. Everyone else is pretty much, Ryan Reynolds, they did a disservice to him. Yeah. And they spoiled his death in the TV show. It's like a spoiler.
Spoilers, man. You know who wrote that movie? The writers of Deadpool.
And I'm like, man, like,
It seems like this cast could have been just like random actors in a horror movie,
It's like, why do they get these A-list
exactly
stars, but their characters are just, I don't know.
It's all good. Alright, well that's going to wrap up Apocaflix Movie News, spoiling movies everywhere for you guys. I want to thank Gio for joining me today. Let them know where they can find you online.
You guys can find me on Twitter at GioRamos24. Check out apocaflixmovies.com. We have a great write-up for Zack Snyder's comments after the Justice League trailer posted. We also have reviews for Life and Power Rangers.
And you can find me, Jacob Bartley, on Twitter at _JacobBartley_ on this YouTube channel, of course. Please subscribe, hit that like button, hit us up in the comment section, all that good stuff. We really do appreciate it. Thank you all for listening. Until next time, take care.